Max? Little buddy? No, 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 no! No!
What happened?
Hey! What happened to Max? Talk!
We don't know!
1 second we were guarding the devil's toy box.
Then bam! Out went the lights!
Through a fog of rage, darkness, and raisinets, I tried to remember what Flint Paper told me about interrogating suspects.
Rule number 1, don't let the suspect control the conversation. Get him talking, then surprise him. Interrupt him with a question, or call him a liar, freak him out. And if all else fails, bring little Miss Persuasion out for a stroll.
Actually, I think it was more of a boom, really.
Really? Because I distinctly heard it more like a bam. Go ahead. Put us out of our misery.
Since we've lost the devil's toy box, we might as well be dead anyway.
Too easy. Keep talking.
Well, that's the last thing we remember until you woke us up and started snarling at us.
Yeah, that's the last thing we remember.
Rule number 2, timing is everything. When you hear the suspect lying, that's when you jump in and accuse him.
Yup, I was totally unconscious the whole time. I certainly didn't see anything interesting, no siree, Bob.
Liar!
All right. I came to before Jebediah, just in time to hear the telltale sounds of a brain being removed from a bunny.
Obadiah, why didn't you do anything?
I was afraid that he'd remove my brain too.
Who? Who took Max's brain?
It was the space gorilla.
Skunkape!
Of course! He must have been released from the penal zone when the toy box was stolen.
I'm so sorry.
Not half as sorry as that brain-stealing space ape's gonna be when I catch up with him.
Rule number 3, mole men are easy. To crack the tough nuts, you'll need information to prove your case. Sometimes you gotta ask around to get the dirt on the doers. Now, go get 'em!
I wrote a mental note to thank Flint at Max's funeral and got ready to squeeze some punks. General Skunky. I should have known. That space ape had wanted Max's brain ever since he found out it was special. Now that special brain was gone, and I was cut loose, drifting in the neon current, hoping for a lucky break. Hello, ugly. You're one of Skunkape's goons. Where's your boss? What did he do to my little buddy?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the dimensional boundaries.
What are you talking about?
Don't you remember when you and your partner defeated my leader, the magnificent General Skunkape, by trapping him in the penal zone?
Oh yeah, that. So?
As I was saying, since Skunkape's imprisonment, I've been reevaluating my life choices. I've abandoned violence for a career as a science spinner. It's a very fulfilling, low-temperature job, more suited to his...
Reevaluating your life choices? What does that even mean?
Skunkape's defeat made me take a really hard look at myself. Honestly, is there anything more pathetic than a middle-aged space gorilla waving his blaster around the galaxy like some kind of teenager?
How about a dead partner?
The only way to break the cycle was to just walk away. Now I have a wonderful job as a sign spinner and a girlfriend in the village, and I don't even have to shoot anyone.
How nice for you.
But enough about me. You should talk to the rat. yes, the rat. He certainly seems plugged into the ins and outs of this gloriously filthy metropolis.
Rat? What rat?
Frankie the Rat. He traffics in stolen merchandise and tawdry gambling rings.
Where can I find him?
He hangs out on the corner of Veni and Vidi in the Latin Quarter.
Frankie the Rat. The name left a bad taste on my tongue and an itchy sensation in my boxers. Still, there wasn't a rodent more plugged into the bad wiring in the city. Hey, Rat.
Sam, buddy, how's it hanging?
My partner's got a bad case of a missing brain, and someone thinks you might know something about it.
Brain, huh? Well, I did see something unusual and brain-related a little while back.
Spill!
I was given directions to a confused tourist. Poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scaring all the kiddies with his umlauts and tvortisnachs and whatnot.
Where?
Hey, take it easy, big fella. I sent him right over that way, about 2 miles.
Frankie the Rat helping a tourist? It was absurd. Absurd like Max was, back when he had a brain. So imagine my surprise when I found Frankie's tourist wandering around the bad side of town.
Oh! Ah!
You, foreign guy, what's your story?
Ooh, an American police shakedown! How thrilling!
Yeah, it's a real honor. Now, what do you know?
Well, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats.
And Frankie sent you here?
Yeah.
That dirty lion rat.
You know, back in Europe, I had so many warnings about your country's rats, but
Then what?
I was about to give him a tip for the help when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebe-Wachzauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was a Weltraumliebe-Wachzauberkrieg.
Ultra super colored what now?
A Weltraumliebe-Wachzauberkrieg. My people's word for a stunning battle between a strangely garbed man and an alien space gorilla carrying a brain in a jar. So, where was I? Oh, yes! After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. And you know what else? I'm starting to think that this isn't actually the museum district.
What?
Ibble-skibbled! It's a common European word that describes the feeling of mild disorientation combined with nagging doubts about a rat. Honestly, what do they teach you Americans in your schools?
Video poker!
So, what else would you like to know? People in this country are so intense!
The tourist seemed like just another victim circling the drain, but I knew there was more to the story. It was time to circle back and flush out the truth. Frankie, what do you know?
I was given directions to a confused tourist.
To the museum district?
Yeah, poor fellow was wandering around in circles, scared.
Don't lie to me, Frankie. I talked to your tourist, and it looks to me like you sent him over to the wrong side of town to get rolled by your rat pack.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't, but this conversation is over. I ain't saying nothing till I get some legal representation. Annoy for some people.
Trent, you want a lawyer? Here's an attorney from Smith & Wesson.
Okay, I'll talk. Sheesh. Like you guessed, I gave the tourist directions to the bad side of town, but I was just winding them up, really. Hey, ask me, the schmuck deserved it, acting all high and mighty and European.
You're lying! No, wait, you're not. Keep going.
Anyway, when the big fight broke out, me, the tourist, and the other gorilla ducked down behind the crate, and I, picked their pockets. The tourist was loaded with high-exchange Europeans.
Other gorilla? What other gorilla?
Believe it or not, it was another space ape. He was spinning a sign for some pet store, the poor schlub.
So that dirty punk sign spinner did see Skunkape.
Anyway, after the fight moved on, the tourist got a nice souvenir for his trouble, and I skedaddled back here. And that's all I know, honest.
Souvenir?
Yeah, something fell out of the funny hat guy's pocket, and the tourist scooped it up.
What was it?
I don't know, something.
So the tourist didn't leave empty-handed after all.
So what now?
Stick around. I may be back.
I shall count the minutes.
I'm back. Now where's Skunkape?
I don't know. I haven't seen General Skunkape since you unjustly imprisoned him in the penal zone. I'll never forget his final terrified howl as it echoed across the...
That story ain't gonna wash, Bonzo. Your pal Frankie told me all about how you and he hid from a fight between Skunkape and some other guy. Now make with the lip flapping and I better like what I hear.
It's true. A few of your Earth minutes ago, I was spinning my sign for Frankie the Rat and a tourist when General Skunkape came running down the street, chasing after a strangely garbed man. To my everlasting shame, I cowered behind a crate like a common Venusian bonobo as the General and his prey skirmished.
Strangely garbed?
Yes, a man in a faded jacket and a strange hat. He seemed to be carrying a box of some sort. General Skunkape was in hot pursuit. After the General and the stranger fled the scene, I discovered that he had dropped this. I'm surprised he didn't come back for it, but he appeared to be in something of a hurry. Oh well.
What's that? A brain remover?
I believe it's one of the toys of power that my General has been collecting for the past 25 Kryleks.
I knew that. Give me that toy.
No! I need it to get back in General Skunkape's good graces. Once I return this artifact to the General, he'll forgive my temporary abandonment of his goals and welcome me back to his crew with open arms. Oh, how I've come to miss standing at my General's side these past few hours. I wonder if he'll promote me.
Huh. You're fooling yourself, kid.
What are you talking about?
The only thing Skunkape's gonna welcome you with is a fistful of phasers. You can't go home again. You can't even get on the porch. You've tasted the apple, peed in the pool, bitten the hand that rocks the cradle. You're a sign spinner to him now, and that's all you're ever gonna be.
You're right. It's hopeless. No matter what I do now, I'll never soar through the galaxy at my General's side ever again.
And I hate to tell you, but you're not a very good sign spinner either. I hated to see a grown gorilla cry, so I got in the car and looked for another lost soul to join me as I gazed into that abyss. Finally, a clue. The last time we saw the rhinoplasty toy, Max's special brain used it to turn into a bazooka. Now it was going to lead me to the guy who stole that special brain. It wasn't exactly ironic, but I didn't care. Crimetron, do your stuff! What do you mean not found in database?
The Crimetron requires additional clues to make an informed deduction.
Clues? I haven't got time for clues. Max's body is starting to smell differently.
Then maybe you should stop yelling at my girlfriend and start with the clue-finding.
Something Frankie said about the tourist was sticking in my craw like a spoonful of peanut butter, chunky style.
Ooh, a repeat performance.
Let's run through it one more time, and speak slowly. I'm an American.
As I said before, about an hour ago, I was getting directions to the museum district from one of your colorful local rats. You know, back in Europe, I heard so many...
What happened next?
I was about to give him a tip for the help, when all of a sudden a Weltraumliebewacht Zauberkrieg erupted in the middle of one of your asphalt fjords. At least I think it was a Weltraumliebewacht.
Hurry it up.
After the fight moved on, I discovered that someone had picked my pockets, leaving me empty-handed and ibble-skibbled in a strange land. I left the scene of the crime, carrying nothing but the clothes on my back. And you know what else? I'm stuck.
Don't play innocent with me, metric lover. The rat saw you pick up something after the fight. Now spill!
Yeah, it's true. I took a souvenir from the fight. I didn't think anyone would notice. Here.
Norrington? Who the heck is Norrington?
I don't know. Just don't hurt me. You Americans are all animals. Animals.
Norrington. The name rang fewer bells than a sleigh in July. Hopefully, it would be enough. Okay, Crimetron, this is your last chance before I start looking for an upgrade. Come on, you obsolete hunk of junk. Talk! Where's Skunkape?
Sam, no!
Stop holding out on me!
Get away from her, you Bruce.
Finally.
Audiences across the country say, you're a monster, Sam.
What have you become?
The Museum of Mostly Natural History, the tarnished jewel of the city's once thriving museum district. Max and I always meant to visit, but we'd never gotten around to it. Now we were finally going to take in its thrilling and dubiously educational displays with a vengeance. Skunky, it's time to pay the piper, plus tax and applicable service fees. Hang tight, little buddy. Telltale trail of Grandpa Stinky's brain-preserving demon broth. Could Max's brain still be alive? I'll take a look around after I track down Max's brain.